Hey, I'm the creator of Omneris and the Whipping Witch, and today I am finally finishing my circus troupe of OCs. And I am drawing 14 people for that. So I have performers, I have a ringmaster, and all that's left is a band to play some music during the acts. And I kind of looked up what instruments usually made up a circus band, and then I chose to mostly ignore that and still pick whatever I wanted. So I have a flute, a piccolo, a clarinet, a trumpet, a trombone, a tuba, some strings, violin, cello, bass, and some percussions too. And then I proceeded to draw all the characters side by side. So that is 14 characters total. And I kind of wanted to just make the characters look like their instruments, kind of like dog owners kind of look like their dogs, I guess. And so I just started with drawing bodies for the overall proportions and stuff. And then I just put a uniform on them. It is somewhat basic, but I think it does the job. And the uniform is slightly different for males and females, and the children have a different outfit too. And yeah, I did also try to have a bunch of different species, different body shapes and heights. I wanted every character to feel a bit different from one another, while still having some groups. For instance, the flute and the piccolo are a mother and her son. The string quartet are a family. And it's actually not a string quartet. I forgot about the viola, so I have two violins, a cello, and a bass. And maybe one of the two children can switch to a viola at times, but yeah. I don't know about that. We'll see. And once I had my bands line up, it was time to try and draw an illustration of them, which took forever. I already rarely draw more than one character in an illustration, but for this drawing I had to draw 14 characters, and that's a lot. So I started by putting some basic perspective in place for like a balcony situation, which I imagine would be on top of the artist's entry into the circus. And then I just started drawing the characters one by one, looking at references to see the poses of musicians. And there are so many hands in this drawing. I think there's one hand in total that I didn't draw, and all the other ones are visible. Well, they're not visible per se. I did draw the characters fully, which means the characters that are in the second rank, they're in the background, but I still drew them fully, so some of the hands might not be actually visible in the finished illustration, but I did draw them in the process. So I guess I kind of gave myself a harder job than it needed to be, but I wanted the possibility of moving the characters around if I wanted to, for a better composition. So yeah, I'm done with the 3 children of the lowest balcony, and I moved on to the adults behind them. Which took forever. And by then I decided that I needed to do something other than sketching and drawing musicians with complex poses and hands that do not make sense. So I just started coloring what I already had. And then for every character that followed, I would sketch them Well, I sketched the body, then I did some sort of line art where I would basically dress them as I went, and then I colored them. Also, I have to confess, I only drew one violin for all of my strings, and then I just reused it and changed the size and orientation and kind of the perspective too a little, but I just did not want to draw it again. And it's really annoying because violins are actually really beautiful to look at, but they are kind of a pain in the ass to draw. Well, at least for me. But maybe I should just draw more, which hopefully will happen. I am not sure I will ever want to draw the whole band in one illustration again, but I could just pick one or two characters to draw together. So, it's fine. I decided for the instruments that I would put the more classical ones on the lowest balcony, because I imagine they would be closer to the artists in the middle, and the public too, because they are instruments that do not have as much volume, I suppose, as the brass and percussions. So yeah, the woodwinds are with the strings. And then I moved on to the highest balcony with my trumpet, trombone, flute, tuba, and my percussions. And I don't know what to say about it, so I'll just say that I think I spent a little over 13 hours on this drawing, which is like a lot. It is less than an hour per character, and I think there are some characters that I just managed to draw really quickly, and I was kind of in the flow, so I didn't struggle as much, or didn't think as much, I suppose, and it just went by faster. And some other characters were just harder for me to draw and to just get into the flow of drawing. So yeah. But I think as I was approaching the end, I did manage to take bigger steps for this drawing, because I only draw around 2 hours a day, so this actually took me like 6 days, I think, to draw, which is a lot. I don't usually spend that much time on illustrations, but as I mentioned, there are a lot of characters in this drawing, so yeah, I kind of needed to take my time, and I did want to draw them like properly, with the correct poses, with the hands, like make it make sense. So I just decided to give myself an extra week to draw this, so I would not have to rush myself too much. And we are approaching the final stretch. We are on the second rank of the highest balcony, drawing my giraffe trombone player. And only 2 characters left. And then I'll be almost done. But not quite, because I still need to draw the balcony itself. I only have a sketch so far. I also wanted to mention that this series is now finished. I have designed every character I wanted for my circus troupe, at least for now. I might someday decide to add characters or instruments to my band, or performers or something, but for now I'm done. This is everything I wanted to do so far. Which means that I am exhausted and I should probably figure out what to do next. But I kind of want to take a break, so I am taking a break, and I have no idea how long it will be, but I will probably not post for a little while, at least not long videos. So, yeah, I'll come back later with new content. Anyway, I finished drawing the characters, so I'm just finishing the background, adding some really quick shadows because I did not want to go into more details than that after spending so many hours just doing that. And the piece is done. Thank you for watching and see you soon.